Hey, what do you guys think about the book, Power of One? I don't really like it. You guys like it?
I thought it was alright, considering about the all the confusion between like what topic of the book was really mainly written off of. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it, but I mostly liked the boxing part. I didn't really like the racial part to it.
I loved getting to see PK grow up from a kid, so I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I like it. I like how PK gets bullied at the beginning, but then is able to knock his bully out at the end and show him.
Alright, I really wonder if the Power One relates to the racial tensions or just the human nature of the time period.
I thought that racial tensions played a role in how blacks and whites acted towards one another.
I agree with Shane because while in his boxing career, he never fought black people when he was in a match.
Yeah, sure, the race plays a role in the problem, but human nature makes people do bad things. Like, if you look around us, a lot of whites are mean to other whites, and race has no part in that.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was bullied at boarding school because it's just human nature for a bigger kid to beat up on a younger, smaller kid.
I feel like PK was bullied at his school because he was the only English kid there, and that plays a role with the racial tensions.
Well, what stood out to me was when the judge got a tattoo of a swastika, because I felt at that point that it was more than just normal bullying.
Connecting to the racial aspect of the book was that they put Doc in jail for being German. They claimed that he was just a German spy.
Yeah, that's right. But and while Jack was in jail, we got to look at how the black prisoners were treated much worse than the white ones. Like, they would just get beaten for no particular reason.
Also in chapter 22, PK's school for blacks gets shut down because the students are black.
Yeah, I believe this story connects more to the racial tensions because of all your comments. Yeah.
It's not that so. Why is the Power of One relevant today?
It was relevant today because it really shows us how the community has changed over time and how we started to accept all the races as equal to each other.
Yeah, it always shocks me to think that this racial issue kind of stuff existed like 30 years ago.
Well, I really don't think it's that relevant to today because none of these racial issues happen that often today.
I disagree because even though we think there are no racial issues around here, they could be happening in different parts of the world.
Yeah, like how in some parts of America there are cops who shoot unarmed blacks away because of like racial issues with them.
I disagree with what Justin said because you can do all you can to get rid of racial discrimination, but it simply just won't go away.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that race will always be a social issue, but the book also teaches the message that you can do anything you set your mind on. Surely that's a good reason to read it.
Yeah, that is true. But I feel like it could be a lot worse in other countries than it is here.
Yeah, I also feel we as a country don't see and understand the issues going on around us as we went through them in the past.
Like in America, we had resolved to slavery, which was a whole lot sooner than in other countries like Africa.
She is also right that we're the first ones to abolish slavery, but in the end of things can stay the same. Besides, never being able to be able to leave and go home.
Yeah, so now we know that the Power of One highlights the racial issues in our society, but what other lessons does it teach?
Well, PK was always going on about his camouflage and how it helped him. Does anyone have any thoughts about that?
Well, it seems to work out for PK. He just hides, and so he doesn't stand out enough for anyone to notice him or bully him.
Yeah, the camouflage was developed by PK to prevent himself from being seen as a smart person in his class.
I think he mainly used his camouflage when he was a kid, but as he got older, he really wanted to stand out and struggled to do better. So he kind of stopped using his camouflage as he got older.
Yeah, that's true. So, in summary, the Power of One teaches us about racism, our individual Power of One, and the camouflage is helpful up to a point, but there comes a time when we each need to step out of our shell and really shine.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of work done today, guys. Good job.
Yeah, now we know why the Power of One relates to other problems and issues in the world.
And we figured out the story centers around racial issues and not just by human nature.
Yeah, good discussions
That's-
at their own.
That was so